He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. My grandmother's favorite song was How Great Thou Art. These comforting lyrics helped her navigate difficult periods throughout her life. My grandmother would share her disturbing stories of how she survived domestic abusive relationships. She was not shy to go into the details because she knew where she came from and what she overcame. My grandmother did not stay in those relationships long and would leave because she had a purpose and a mission. She did not have the examples growing up or the guidance to navigate unhealthy relationships, but she was going to carry on with her faith and purpose to do the best for herself and her kids. In order to obtain her financial independence and make a better way for her children, she worked as a washer and cleaned offices. Her faith carried her through, and powerful words of how great thou art was a refuge and solace to her. And then I think that God, his son, not sparing, sent him to die. I scarce can take it in that on the cross, my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. In 1987, at 65 years old, her brother Vernon sponsored her to come to the USA. She, in turn, determined to make a better way for her kids and grandkids. When settled, sponsored those remaining in Jamaica and who were interested to come to America. She strongly believed in the betterment of one's life and working hard regardless of the job. She never forgot those remaining in Jamaica and did everything possible to ensure they had opportunities to better their lives. She implored her kids to be present and be helpful to other family members. And where they lacked in carrying out their duties, she would not hold back her contempt and disappointment with harsh verbal criticism she signaturely was known for. Help in hand. When those who failed to live up to their expectations, she would do her part to fill the gaps by sending money to grandkids and family members for their education and housing accommodations. My grandmother was a giver, regardless of her abilities and limited resources. Helping others gave her the ultimate joy, and those who questioned her reasoning would be met with her stubborn, leave me alone, I do what I love. Mama Lucy was a hard worker throughout her life. She worked 2 jobs in the laundry department at the hotels up into her 80s. She was forced to retire reluctantly. If she could, she would have worked until the very end. Having her financial independence and ability to do what she wanted gave her great joy because she could give more and help those who needed it. She was very disciplined and responsible financially. With the little she had, she was able to change the financial trajectory of her children and grandchildren. The clothes washer, the office cleaner, and the laundry worker did not stop or slow down because of her age. As she got older, she kept living as if she was never going to die. Well, Lucy's favorite color was red. Psychologists believe that if red is your favorite color, it said that you are bold, boisterous, and full of energy. You're also spontaneous in nature, and need for adventure makes you passionate and ambitious individual. Wearing red is expressing character, independence, strength, and determination. This summarizes my grandmother's personality and presence. As one family member describes her, as hot and spicy. She would draw the attention and admiration of those who encountered her. She had a sharp tongue. Miss Lucy had a direct way of talking that could sometimes be stinging if you didn't know her well. But she was always honest and straightforward and meant well. I can recall my last visit with her in November, where she told me I was fat and reminded me how much better shape I used to be. For some, they would have probably taken offense, but I knew my grandmother meant well, and I laughed at her frankness. Miss Lucy was very direct in her approach to life and believed that no one should control her. When she lost her physical independence because of a surgical amputation, she was very reluctant to be told what to do or how she should do it by her care providers. Mama Lucy, as a testament to her vitality, was so determined to live life to the fullest on her own terms, regardless of what others thought. At the tender age of 72 years old, she got married to a much younger man who was 41 years old. My grandmother was sincerely in love and believed in her union and marriage. She would be divorced in her 80s, but that did not discourage my grandmother from living her life with purpose. Although my grandmother was full of life and a force to be reckoned with, she was a source of calm, reassurance, and support. As one family member described how her childhood color insecurities or shadism challenges impacted her as a child, our grandmother, without prompt or discussion, reaffirmed that family member beauty as a dark-skinned child by referring to her as Black Beauty and telling her she was beautiful. My grandmother somehow knew the words that would reinforce confidence, love, and support, and what was needed at that moment in time to that little child. Given the fact that my grandmother benefited from being light-skinned in a country that viewed colorism very much in how they dealt with each other. She would often call and ask about the grandkids and how they were doing, telling me to tell them hello. When in person, she gave tight hugs and plenty of kisses on the cheeks. She was a loving woman and wanted others to feel love. What was Mama Lucy's secret to living long? She never worried. She was cheerful, bubbly, and lovable. She had an impeccable faith and attitude that everything will work itself out. Regardless of the chaos, calamity surrounding her, she would smile. Psalms 91 was another favorite Bible passage of hers. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, for the destruction that waiteth at noonday. This passage often gave her confidence and courage she needed through her challenges throughout life. Little tidbits and interesting things about her. She never used a microwave and preferred to make her own food and rarely ate out. She would religiously monitor her health, salt, and sugar intake. She was diabetic and survived an earlier bout with cancer when she was younger. She would always carry her food in a thermos so it would remain warm at work. Her favorite meals were fish, chicken back, fish tea soup, and porridge. She enjoyed attending church and engaging with her new church family in Jamaica and being generous towards strangers, family, and friends. She was a very kind woman. I share with you my grandmother's life, both good and bad, because many knew one side, but many of the grandkids, great-grandkids, will know more about her in death than they did while she was alive. She was selective with whom she shared certain parts of her life, but her life story should be known to her family, because I strongly believe that is what she would want as a bold, passionate woman. As we say goodbye to Mama Lucy, I'm reminded of the joyful phrase she would always remind me of when I was a child, when we spoke or saw each other. Mama, when y'all come back? And though we may not have the chance to see her smiling face again in this life, as much as we mourn the loss of Mama Lucy, my dear grandmother, we can take comfort the fact that she has left behind a legacy that will continue to inspire and uplift us all. Despite the tragedies and challenges that she faced, she persevered and triumphed. She loved deeply, gave selflessly to her family, friends, and community. She had a remarkable resilience and strength that she drew from her faith and her determination to create a better life for herself and her loved ones. Mama Lucy's life was a testament to the human spirit and power of love, duty, and forgiveness. She may be gone from this world, but her legacy will live on through her children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Let us honor her memory by carrying on her spirit of resilience, kindness, perseverance, and love. Mama Lucy, you will always be in our hearts. May you rest in eternal peace and know that you will always be remembered with love and admiration.
Denbigh Assembly Adventist Church caters for the members of the community, not necessarily our members here only. And we have more than maybe every quarter, as the need arises, we take care packages to the needy in the community and also offer care packages to our members. The offertory will be taken in aid of the community service, and we have our community service leader who is standing, Sister Ayman, and along with the other deaconesses, an offering will be collected in aid of community services. At this time, I'm going to ask, as we give the pounds, the US dollars, the euro, give generously.
A sound that says, to fair and justice. Snares I have as well.